The curtain has fallen. The PHB 2024, the first of the 1D&D books, has started its big promotion rotation, and there's lots to talk about. New rules, spells, feats, weapon mastery, a bunch of changes, and a bunch of stuff you can steal even if you don't actually care about the book. Is the PHB 2024 going to be good? Let's talk about everything we know so far. So the first thing we've got to talk about is weapon mastery, because that is the big new feature that they are adding to this book. Essentially, every weapon in the game has a new property that gives that weapon a little boost if you've mastered it. This isn't a new idea. It's basically the weapon perks system invented by Crit Academy 4 years ago. That one had a few balance problems. The WotC one does seem a little more balanced. It would have been really nice for Crit Academy to have gotten a shout out somewhere along the line, because it is very similar to their idea, but we do know that this system of adding new properties to weapons works really nicely. We've got confirmed options like Topple, knocking enemies prone, Cleave, which lets you hit multiple enemies next to each other in a single attack, and Graze, which lets you deal damage to an enemy even if you miss. There's also Push, which knocks an enemy back on a hit, and we know that that feature's been given to the heavy crossbow, so it's essentially Eldritch Blast's repelling blast feature on a weapon, which we know is good. There's also Nick, which is applied to all daggers, which lets you make the bonus action attack with an offhand light weapon without using your bonus action. This is obviously great for rogues, because you can attack twice with your daggers and still have your bonus action free to dash or disengage. Vex gives you advantage on the next attack you make, and Sap gives enemies disadvantage on their next attack. Each weapon has only one of these options, and you choose weapons to master as you level up depending on your class. All in, seems pretty good, and is also almost identical to what we've seen in the Unearthed Arcana, so it is worth noting that if this interests you, it's there for free. It's something that the homebrew community has done for a while, it's worked really well, and now it's in the new PHB rules as well. Speaking of rules, we know about a couple of new rules that they've added. Firstly, there's this new heroic inspiration. In the past, inspiration in D&D worked kind of like advantage that you could take anytime you wanted it. However, you had to use it before you rolled the initial d20. You can't roll a d20, fail, and then decide to use your inspiration to roll again. In practice, every table that I've ever played at agreed that that was dumb, and they essentially let you use inspiration to re-roll failed saves and checks and attack rolls, kind of like the fighter's indomitable ability. And that is what the new heroic inspiration does. You can now re-roll anything, even a damage roll, after you see it by using your inspiration. Another new rule is the bonus action potion rule. You already do this as a homebrew, I'm sure, and they've now added it to the game. Healing potions can be downed as a bonus action. Both of these rules are good changes, but they are stuff that people have likely been doing in their own games anyway already. The more significant changes in how people actually play the game, if they decide to use the PHB 2024, is going to come in the form of changes to the actual classes themselves. Hey man, I just wanted... What are you doing?
I'm trying to play D&D, but all the characters keep falling off my naked body.
Then use a map.
Oh, I'll use a map. I'll just use a map. I don't have a map, dickhead.
Oh my god, then just grab some from Chepeku.
Did you just sneeze?
No, Chepeku maps, dude. Chepeku are the ultimate high-quality fantasy map makers for D&D, Pathfinder, DC-20, Daggerheart, or any other tabletop game. You can grab over 4,000 stunningly beautiful maps for just $5 from their Patreon. That's just $5 to access the entire Chepeku archive of maps with all variations, and they drop more every month. You can also check out all of their content or buy individual maps at chepeku.com. Immerse your players, effortlessly import maps into VTTs, and join the community by heading over to the Chepeku Patreon now, link in description. Take your games to the next level today. So regarding classes and subclasses, we know that there are 3 completely original subclasses in this book. One for Barbarian, one for Druid, and one for Bard. They're dropping more info on the classes and subclasses across this week, and that will need some serious analysis. Are the new classes weaker, stronger, more versatile, more restrictive, and more importantly, are they significantly going to change how a class is played? But we got to talk about the new feats, of which there are now 3 different types. You got your origin feats, you've got your epic feats, and you've got your feats. Origin feats are feats you can take at level 1. They're part of the new D&D backgrounds. So when you choose a background for your character, you get a feat. They've been doing this for a while, like the Wild Spacer background and the Strixhaven background. Basically, every race in the game is now the variant human, giving you a free feat at level 1. However, only certain feats are Origin feats, and this is probably how they're trying to rein in the power of the variant human. Some feats, when taken at level 1, represented an incredible boost in power or versatility, so by splitting feats off from each other, they're trying to dampen that impact. Backgrounds also give you your ability score increases now, so no, it isn't your species that gives you a +2 in strength or whatever, it's pretty much how you were raised. Some people hate this. Personally, I don't mind. The same goes for the change of name. Some people hate that races are now called species. Again, I don't mind. The truth is, whether they're called like species or races or lineages or ancestries, they all mean the same thing. It's the shape of the being that you are. Do you look like a dragon? There you go. Epic feats are the category especially for characters at the absolute end of the game. Level 19, I think, is when you can grab these from, so they're pretty much the new version of the old epic boons. Some of these in the playtest material were quite cool, so if you like the idea, they are all still there, freely available, you can just grab them right now. And then of course you've got your regular feats. Some of these are new, many are old ones that are brought back, and in total, there are 75 feats in the book. There are also 400 spells in the book. Again, some are new, many are just old ones brought back, but I gotta say, in terms of meat on the page, for WotC books, this is really big. For example, Big B's had like 8 feats and 1 subclass in the entire book, and a Spelljammer was advertised as coming with new spells, and the new spells were 2 spells, and one of them was completely useless outside of that campaign. My point is, 75 feats, 400 spells, this is a lot of material. For reference, Ryoko's guide had 80 feats, so this is comparable to a third-party book, which is, for WotC, crazy. They've also reorganized stat blocks and included some useful ones for players, like the common wild shape options for druids in the PHB, so those can kind of act as a teaser for what they're going to do with the monster manual, I guess. They do also reference in the announcement video that the CR calculations for a lot of creatures in 5e is way off, which it is. It's wacky. It is stupid how weak some high CR creatures are. So maybe they're going to fix that. I don't know. We'll have to see. The art is also looking good. We'll have to go through the actual book to see if the art is all good, because consistent art has been WotC's problem with D&D books for years, but the covers at least are spectacular. Credit where credit's due, those covers are gorgeous. But okay, let's talk about something serious and weird, and that is the big push WotC are doing right now to get people to pre-order these books. Nothing weird about that in principle, every game does this, but usually when you pre-order a game, you get something in return, like maybe a bonus weapon on launch or a new skin for a character, that kind of thing. If you back a D&D Kickstarter early, you might get some free dice or a bonus PDF adventure. They don't seem to be doing that for these books, which is weird because it means there's no reason to pre-order. This is WotC essentially saying like, hey, can we have the money now, please? I'm not saying this because I hate WotC or I'm out for revenge, but seriously, don't pre-order this. There's no reason. You're not saving any money. You're not getting anything extra. The only thing that happens if you pre-order it is if you later regret buying it upon seeing reviews, you can't do anything. This is just good self-care as a consumer of anything. You know, just wait for the reviews to drop. Don't feel like you're getting the FOMO, you're not going to miss anything. You can wait for the reviews and the deep dives, see if this is something that you actually want, that you're going to get use out of, see if it's worth your money, and then you can buy it, and it'll be exactly the same if you want it. I will make a video about buying from Wizards of the Coast down the line. Don't worry, it's a very serious topic, it means a lot to me. I'm not just ignoring it, we will cover it, but not here. Whatever your thoughts on that matter, my honest advice is wait for the reviews, make an informed decision with what you spend your money on, and if you do decide to buy this, you can buy it from a local game store where the money is going to do the most good. Stay tuned for deep dives on the classes and subclasses that they reveal this week. Remember to like and subscribe, check out other videos on the channel, and you can support the channel on Patreon if you want to help make these videos or pick up some awesome D&D stuff that I make every month. And yeah, that's basically all I got. I'll see you next time.